What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Who would have thunk that Legendary Duelists Season 2 would cause so many interesting conversations on the market, between the product itself being underestimated and underordered by vendors, myself included on that underestimated part. So much is going on versus predecessors of Legendary Duelists Season 1, and then also Dragons of Legend the Complete Edition versus what this actually offers inside and how it's panning out. Then you get a chase dice, and the dice are apparently selling like wildfire. Blue Eyes items have always done well for themselves. And then a secondary market impact in other places. Cyber Dragon Nashter got itself an unexpected reprint within the set, and now we see people finally going, alright, I guess it's time, I'll get the other pieces, or other vendors scrambling for stacks of them as they think it's a good thing to go and grab off market, because Cyber Dragon's a huge fan favorite. Cyber Dragon hers here, we can see the original ultra rare from Cybernetic Horizon is bought out to just 3 listings, and the super rare from the Megatons. Remember when Megatons 2019 had promos? Nibiru, Dimension Shifter actually bringing up the rear and doing well, Dark Ruler no more. I remember the good times of promos. Well, this is now a pretty expensive tin, and you have Nibiru reprinted and still pretty high priced, and you have Dark Ruler no more reprinted, and that estimated value pulled is slowly going down from those tins, yet the tins are still pretty much off the market and up in price. So when we think about that, people are looking at the singles inside despite how wide open these were, and quantities have run dry over time, or are easier to target at this point, and we see Cyber Dragon hers getting a bit of a buyout with that Cyber Dragon hype coming from within, and people looking at, okay, now what's the hardest piece to get? Okay, it's that. Let's go ahead and buy that out. And also last minute people going towards it. But I think that most people that had Cyber Dragon cores, not the card, but the deck, the Cyber Dragon core of the deck, that's a funny one I always have to remember. I try to avoid that phrase, by the way. But people that had the Cyber Dragon deck already probably would have had their hers and not dilly-dallied so long to getting to it. Cyber Dragon Nova has 4 different versions, but one is a giant card, by the way, this one. So 3 truly, and its quantities are going up and off the market and up in price as well. This got a much welcomed reprint in the Legendary Dragon decks, but this is now like a, how much is it? I wanted to say 90 off the top of my head, but it's one of the last Legendary decks to really go up there in price. Yeah, I'm pretty on point. $98 lowest on TCG Player. So not the easiest thing to go and pack open and get yourself a Cyber Dragon Nova from. Then an OTS common, and then an original structure deck ultra rare, which did get re-waved, and you could find on shelves for a bit, but that's long gone as well. So Cyber Dragon Nova, another Cyber Dragon piece that you definitely want to be playing in the deck, it is up in price as well. Now let's go from some serious market talk to some memes. The Penguin deck. There's only one printing of the Great Emperor Penguin. What a big brain buyout from Generation Force, but you can see it's actually been going up to the point where its market price has moved up. This is just funny to me. I love the Penguin decks and stuff like that, but this is kind of ridiculous. You see it going up in price for the meme. Penguin Duels, you were already on this long ago, weren't you? Jerry Beansman also here with the DR4 buyout again. We just can't keep the quantities in stock. People have to keep sending them to Yugi Nono, right? Well, we also see another structure deck buyout of this, low on the battles, Battle Pack 3. Battle Pack 3 commons also actually kind of low at this point. The original Cybernetic Revolution, oddly enough, has the most copies on market. So the memes, they just can't stop being dreams here. There are better targets also for people actually talking about future metagame. Better than Jerry Beansman. Generation Force is an interesting comment a little bit as we head towards Lightning Overdrive and people wanting to search out Xyz's changed tactics. So you can make your first Utopia, you still go ahead, and then you end up searching out this, you rank up 2 more times, and you get 2 more draws for your search card. Hopefully you didn't get draw unlocked in that process. This is also going up on other platforms. Somebody in the Discord quoted that there were some cheap on Troll and Toad. What's good 5 there for 5% off? And those are the 30-cent ones are gone. I saw some 60-cent ones left, but yeah, $1 and up as we head towards people wanting to be Yuma once again. I go back to this though. People with Utopia, that's like the last boss monster that got kids back into those games, and now those kids are pretty much growing up. So you're seeing not a lot of different options in terms terms of nostalgia after that, like towards Arc V, Pendulum, and stuff like that. This is truly like one of the last eras, and having, you know, Utopia stuff, I kinda get why people would go after that, but not this specific cards. Other versions of Utopia and stuff like that probably have longevity that I believe in. Oh, but to mention, there is an ultra rare out of dual power that is plenty available and not a bad penny stonk at all. I wanted to talk a couple of sealed products that I've noticed have been going up, besides just Battles of Legend, as all the Moist Critical and Big Tubers hunted 10,000 dragons so they can say they pulled a $4,000 to $5,000 card. PSA 10, by the way. That's pretty hard to get. But when it comes down to it, we see that Toon Chaos First Edition has actually started to go up even further, which is interesting as the collector rare market flounders a lot, and you still have the Unlimited Edition here to compete. I heard someone try to compare this to the modern LOB. I'm just not having it. I don't feel that way about it, but it is a very, very high price for a First Edition booster still here. Legendary Duelist Season 2, we saw one seller go in and try to sell these at 80, and they were gone like that. So these selling pretty well by the caseload, or I guess display as you would call it, versus the other past ones that people are like, here, take it, I'll take a loss and ship it to you. These are doing rather well for themselves and selling fast. As I understand on the EU market, Galaxy Eyes Afterglow is getting a little bit of a buyout right now, so you might want to get that sooner than later using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. But you can see here, we have a lot more listings on other stuff, and it's pretty low over here too. So if it runs out over there, there's also Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily with code What's Good 5 competing at $9 as well. Very competitive. And my suggestions overall would be to get the Blue Eyes White Dragons, or to get Garden Rose Maiden, which did get targeted early on, and we saw kind of flounder in price, and you don't see the most listings on. Now towards $5 actually still okay, so still movement happening on that. So I might get myself a stack of Garden Rose Maidens, as we're just going to head towards more Rose support. Hype for this later. Amazing looking card in Secret Rare, and probably headed towards $8, $9 in the future, depending on its paths. And a lot of people also picking up Photon Orbital, I've noticed as well. So yeah, you might want to check that, or Tier 0. Tier 0 will be restocking certain things, but they've been running out, and EU, of course, grabbing more towards them, depending on the time as they're based over there. But they do ship internationally completely for free, over 50 pounds, and you can use the converter up here for dollars versus pounds, or euros, whatever you're using. Code What's Good 5 works over there and supports the channel directly as well. Maximum Gold Sealed has been going up since the last we showed it. I did say I felt like it would be one of the last times to get it around $100 even, and now the displays are around the $120. So they are slowly going up. Well, that says $111. Things change so fast. $112, Motivated Seller, $115, and then it does head towards $120. Tons of $115. I don't know why I thought $120. My bad. I'm seeing into the future. You're seeing my future market tactics. But I do think this will continue to go up sealed, and is a great, very long-term sealed investment. But with long-term investments, you want to consider versus how long something will sit there, how will it age, and what risk is involved, and then how many times could you have flipped your money into other things during that time. So it comes down to how lazy you are. I'm pretty lazy, but also what you expect you could do in that time with your bankroll. So maybe not the best hold for everyone, but I still think it's a pretty good hold overall. And just seeing some of these inside prices continue to creep up, like Ash Blossom, other ones fluctuate, Dark Magician kind of lowering down over time, Red Eyes Black Dragon as a penny stock. See, here's where you get to it. Would you rather have that Gold Series sealed and sit on it like a mother hen, or buy a bunch of Red Eyes Black Dragon and see if that goes up rather at some point as the classic holographic version of this art? Different places you can put it. Legendary Duelist Rage of Ra isn't at the bottom anymore. The lowest cases are actually up there a bit, and I think there's a discussion to be had because you can get individual boxes cheaper than you would by buying them in bulk, but people want this in bulk because they don't want somebody to open X amount of boxes from a case, pull the Ghost Raw, which is at about 1 per case. It's missing in 1 out of every 10 cases, so 9 out of 10 cases, you're gonna see a Ghost Raw. So people want the sealed case to guarantee the Raw, and then say, well, maybe you'd pull a mint one and sell it in the future. I do think this is a product that will age well over time. It's very unlikely that they don't do a Ghost, Obelisk, and Slifer in the TCG, and people have been preparing for that. And we've also seen some of the Raws go off the market a little bit, motivated sellers swooping back in, but they were a low of 190 very recently. we do see some lower feedback sellers in here, then you'll see people say near mint, but then there will be scratches. So, like, I don't really know what to tell you. That one looks super clean, though. That one, maybe the angle, it may not. That one looks pretty darn nice, and they are charging a bit more for that nice look. But this will be a chase in the future, in my opinion, and it will help the sealed, and you are seeing the sealed actually recover a bit far ahead of time. I wonder who's sinking their money into that one. That's pretty interesting that you see movement before an announcement. Not a mad scramble, but people getting ahead of the game. Brigade Fractal is up towards $10 from a $6 market price earlier when we last looked at it. And other Brigades kind of piquing interest. This deck does only get better. It was overhyped coming out. I fell for the overhype myself back then as well. Gladly admit it. Market Man's not always right. I don't have all the answers. All I can give are suggestions and my thoughts and takes on things. I did this for a living for a very long time, but I'm not always going to have all the answers. That being said, with how things panned out, this is getting a little bit of a rebound. I do like the engine, and it's very resilient when I play against it. It'll be interesting to see how this continues to play out as we race towards those 2021 megatons all the way 7 months versus racing towards when can we have IRL events again. This is a very weird year for Yu-Gi-Oh! Finance. Chamber Dragon Maid Starlight is something I wanted to highlight, as the Starlight market is just floundering. This has been going up and up and up and stabilizing up, and I told you guys to get these back at $12, even though they're my nemesis here on Market Watch, so hopefully you listen. But this just shows how kind of weak the Starlight market has started to get. These are lined up at 250s. Used to, this was just kind of a, yeah, that's there, maybe I'll get to it, maybe I want a Starlight collection price. This just shows a lack of true interest in Starlights and how they're going, and we've seen and looked over time how Starlight rares right now are kind of just being looked away at as people go for ultimate rares, old ulties. They're going after first edition classics. They're going after dark revelations. They're going at DR4, you know? They're going after all the classics more so, and things like Win. There's more Charmers out than ever, yet she is now far below that $800 mark, with many sellers just saying, okay, yeah, I'd like to move it at this point. It's kind of wild how the hardest to get Charmer continues to go down, and we're seeing this with many other things. How undervalued does Zeus field versus the initial charge into the Starlight market? Look at this dude, around 300 still at this point, when the regular one is around $65, $70. That's crazy to me for boss monsters in the extract that you could play more than one of. So yeah, I feel like also that value of busting open cases to get estimated value pulled back and trying to rebound with a Starlight gamble coin flip is getting worse over time too, and it just, there's this surge of people kind of looking away from them or selling them to where they're cheaper. Like, it's wild out here. The wind, the water one actually still climbing up a little, but there are fluctuations within it. It's just about capitalizing and questioning on how to do so, and most of it is downward movement. Like, I would think Tactics would be an easy 500 at this point, but still around that $400 mark. Relinquished Anima is up a couple more dollars since the last time we looked at it. It just seems like a very solid value out of Dual Overload, and we've also seen estimated value pull out of Dual Overload shift around. Needle Fiber / Halki Fibrax has gone down over time. Verte back up. Imperm kind of chilling despite having the gold one. People don't all want a double sleeve, I guess. Union Carrier rebounding a good amount, and other stuff has been kind of stonks in here. Maybe time to look at Secret Signet Minings around, but yeah, it's kind of wild to see where this set has kind of gone for its top 10 players. And finally, I haven't looked into GOAT format in a good bit. Like, I keep showing you guys cards here and there. This is one that I kind of never think of. Graceful Charity. Thanks to you guys in the Discord for a lot of these cards for conversations. Hobby League is almost out and up off the market. The Retro Pack 1 rare to ridiculous proportions. The Secret Rare from Yugi's World doing very nice for itself. So pretty much all holo versions or top-end versions of Graceful Charity doing pretty nice. And I think that would have been an easy call, but one that I overlook from time to time. So remember to kind of look through a whole deck list and not just what's in front of you here on the screen. Go do your own searching as well. Look through cards. Join the live streams, because some things from the live streams don't make it here. And that's at 7 o'clock Central tonight. I really do enjoy going through the market and finding out stuff like this to where it's like, yeah, that makes sense. I should have known, but I wasn't thinking about it.